Hey guys, what's up? It is Ripe again, back with r/am I the Ahole, where people want to know whether they are a horrible person or not, and we help them decide. Without any further ado, let's dive right into the stories. And guys, before we start the video, just a quick disclaimer, I am currently visiting the grandparents of my girlfriend, so my recording setup is a bit weird, so I apologize if the sound is not exactly perfect. And the first one is titled, Would I be the a-hole if I asked my ex to pay me back the money she owes me now that we have broken up? So last month, my ex, who I have been dating for nearly a year, broke up with me. It was a complete blindside. I thought everything was great and we were talking about getting an apartment together next year. Then we went to a party where she saw her most recent ex. A few days later, she told me that he talked to her that night and said that he realized how bad he effed up, and when he saw her with another guy, me. He is now ready to give up his vices for her, and she's sorry, but she still loves him enough to want to give their relationship another try. I was shocked and hurt as hell, but what can I do? I cannot force her to stay. I was miserable for weeks, but now I just want to settle things and move on. And one of the things that need to be settled is the $4,000 that she owes me. We never talked about how or when she would pay me. Back then all I thought of was that she was my girlfriend, she needed money for a valid reason, and I had money to spare. I wanted to take care of her problem because I wanted to take care of her. I told her to pay me when she had money, and she's been paying me a couple $100 every now and then. I was fine with that because she was my girlfriend, but it is not something that I would do for everyone. Now that we are no longer together, I've been thinking about asking her to pay me the $4,000 by the end of the year. I know it sounds petty, but honestly now that she's no longer with me and given the circumstances of our breakup, I don't feel as inclined to be lenient to her with my money as I did before. I also want a clean break so I can totally move on from all of this. I don't like the idea that I still have some sort of connection or communication to her for the next few years if it takes that long for her to pay me. I am willing to listen and ready for your judgment. So guys, once again the question for you, would OP be the a-hole if he asked his ex to pay him back the money she owes him now that they have broken up? And guys, in my opinion, OP is definitely not the a-hole for wanting the money back. And guys, actually a few days ago I saw a very wise comment in the comment section under one of my videos that said the following. If you want to lend money to a friend or partner or family or whatever, please only lend money if you are fine with potentially not getting it back. Please let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments. And now we will read one of the comments in the thread. This person said, Info, it depends on how you plan to ask. If you reach out in a calm and professional manner like, hey, I want to set up a repayment plan for the remaining dollars borrowed. Can we talk about how to do this on a consistent basis? I think you know she cannot pay that whole amount back by the end of the month. That is an unreasonable ask that is petty and not about getting your money back, it is about getting back at her. To actually accomplish getting your money back, you will have to divorce your hurt feelings from the breakup from the money and not be too personal nor too curt. Otherwise, it will become retaliation and legally you don't have a lot of options for recouping your loss. Your best bet is to be both kind and professional when asking for a plan for repayment. Make sure you have calculated exactly what she still owes. As for continued contact, you can still do this impersonally through Venmo or whatever. There are apps that will allow you to send and receive money on a recurring basis without any real interaction. Update, would I be the a-hole if I asked my ex to pay me back the money she owes me after we broke up? I went ahead and called her and nicely asked if she could pay me back at the end of December because I just want a clean break so we can all move on. She said she understood and she would see what she can do. I later learned that she sold her car to her boyfriend who let her continue using the car. In short, I got paid and she kept the car she sold to pay me. Great ending for everyone. But then a few weeks later she called me saying she wanted to talk. She and her boyfriend went to my apartment and told me the craziest thing. She is pregnant. And with that, I have accepted the fact that I will never get the clean break I wanted. It has been 3 months since then. We did the paternity test and confirmed that I am the father. She and her boyfriend are still together and he is in counseling as a sign of his commitment to her. The main reason she left him before was that he had an alcohol problem that he could not control, so I was concerned that she was staying with him while pregnant. He assured me that he has turned over a new leaf for her and he will stay with her through this. She says that things are great between them and he is completely sober now. We all try to get along as best as we can for the baby. When I made that post, I never imagined that this would be the update I would be writing. I never even thought that this would be how I have my first kid. But what is done, and at least we are on the same page about prioritizing the baby. Thanks for all the replies to my original post and wish me luck. I gotta say guys, that was probably one of the most surprising updates we have ever read, and I gotta say, I feel really bad for the future kid and also the guy in the story. But kudos for him for being so mature about it. In addition, if you have watched until here, please don't forget to post some star emojis in the comments and also like the video if you want to support me. Thank you so much in advance, all your support is very much appreciated and needed. And the next one is titled, Am I the a-hole for letting my sister call me dad and refusing to tell her the ugly truth? I'm well aware that the story sounds extremely hard to believe and fake, and I'm aware that there will be many crap post comments below. Sorry, but the story is 100% true and it is a hot topic of discussion in my family at the moment. I was born when my parents were both 19 and my only other sister, let's call her Sarah, was born when they were 42. They divorced shortly after Sarah was introduced to the world. She was 4 months old at the time and they both wanted nothing to do with the child. At the time I was 23 and I was living alone with my then girlfriend who was 21, now my wife, and I done my best to convince at least one of them to take care of young Sarah for her sake and the family's sake, but they refused adamantly and said that I should be taking custody of her instead. So I became the legal guardian of my sister and she's been living with us for the past 12 years and things have been going really smooth for us. Sarah, now almost 13, has been calling me dad and my wife mom and our 2 children, 4 female and 9 male, her siblings, and she has absolutely no idea about her real parents, and to be honest, I let all of that slide. She has no idea that I am really her blood sister and not her father, and I am starting to feel guilty and a little weird. Some of my uncles and aunts come to visit occasionally and they are really disgusted at the fact that she calls me dad, and they are surprised that I haven't told her the truth. They constantly message me, talk to me in private, and I cannot chat to them without the one particular topic rising up, badgering me to let her know already, but I refused. I discussed this with my wife and she thought it would be wrong to tell her the truth because none of my parents wanted to take care of her, and I am the only person in the world who gave her the father figure everyone deserves. I feel that she has the right to know what she is to me and what I truly am to her, but she's suffered enough already and I just want things to continue how it is. Reddit, am I the jerk? Would I be the jerk if I let her know the truth? Update, about 70% of the comments are advising me to tell my daughter who I really am to her, and some are saying sooner than later. I've just got up to discuss this with my wife, and now after a lot of hesitation we have decided that it is best the truth comes from us and it has to come now. Right now it is late for us, but we shall address this to her first thing the next week or even tomorrow. Thanks guys. So guys, I'm curious, what do you think? Is OP the a-hole for letting his sister call him dad and refusing to tell her the ugly truth for all these years? Let us know what you think in the comments. And now we will read an update to the story. Hey guys, so many people wanted me to update on my previous post and wanted me to seek professional advice first before I take matters into my own hands. Apologies if it is long, I will try to make it as detailed as possible while making it also short. I went to my local therapist and told her about my situation and asked what to do. To keep it short, he said he has heard similar accounts from before and said it is best if I tell her as soon as possible and to make sure that my bio children are also present. I asked a few of my closest friends and the majority said more or less the same thing. My wife and I decided to sit the kids down and burst the big bubble. I asked my sister Sarah to come closer and I made sure I held her close and made her feel comfortable. She asked, "What is going on?" But I started by telling her how much we cared and loved her and then told her everything about her parents. I put them in a bright light in hopes of a reunion and who I am to her, and then quickly hugged her and my other two kids together and told her that I love all my children the same and nothing is going to change my love for her. She was shocked and asked if I was joking, but I was starting to cry a little at that point, so she knew I was serious. My bio children were very surprised too. She was in tears and asked me why I didn't tell her sooner. I don't know what to say and I said, "I was just trying to protect you. I am sorry and I hope you can forgive me," but unfortunately and understandably she left. She did not talk to me as much again, understandably so. I continuously offered her to go out to the park and play a bit of football. She loves that and all her favorite things, but she just outright declined and even got a little angry sometimes for me even talking to her. I thought I messed up big time until one day while my wife and two children were out doing shopping and we were alone, she came to me and said, "I know you're not my real father, but I want to let you know you are the best dad in the whole world. Sorry for before." I hugged her and things got pretty emotional. It would be a big lie to say my house is normal now, far from that, but things are slowly, ever so slowly starting to brighten up. There's no longer anything to hide anymore and it feels like we are born again. Sarah is a tough kid and she handled it far better than I believed she would. I will be looking into therapy for her to help her recover, just in case it doesn't go well in the long run, so I will strive and continue to be a great dad to my kids and a great dad to my sister/daughter. And the last one was posted by user Little Mr. YNN on our own subreddit r/ripe stories and it was titled r/malicious compliance, and I will just read this as a little bonus because otherwise the video would be a little bit short. Either way, this is obviously not an Am I the Jerk story, but instead it is concerned with malicious compliance. The cast is M for manager, me for me, and CO for co-workers. M and I always butted heads from the time I had joined the team. I think it was because I did not need her guidance in my job. Earlier that day, a customer became upset that I did not make their coffee fast enough and M decided it was a good time to pull me in the office. M: "Little Mr. Ryan, you're not moving fast enough and I told you to get the dishes done and not be on till." Me: "It was getting busy and I was asked to help." Manager: "You only listen to me, and you step one more toe out of line, I will see that you are fired." Me: "So follow only your instructions?" Manager: "To a T, or you will be fired." Me: "Fine." I walked out of the office fuming and wondering how someone could go on such a power trip, but I needed the job so I continued on dishes. An hour later, I was walking out with about 6 coffee crafts. M walked up to me with mop in hand and said, "Drop what you are doing and go mop the front area." Me: "You want me to drop what I'm doing and go mop the front area?" A smile was starting to appear. Manager: "Yes, are you stupid?" Me: "Okay." I dropped the 6 crafts glass smashing everywhere and grabbed the mop to start on the front area. M looked at me with a look that could seriously harm a child for saying, "Manager, why would you do that?" Me playing innocent: "You told me to follow your instructions to a T or I would be fired, and we don't want that now, do we?" Manager starting to go red. I told you to finish what you're doing before mopping. CO, you told her to drop what she was doing? M stomped out, absolutely fuming, but I felt it was a win that day. I did end up leaving shortly after this story as a better job came up, but I still look back on this day and smile. And guys, unfortunately, we have already reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories, and if you haven't already, please also go to patreon.com/ripeyoutube, where I upload exclusive Reddit videos starting at just $3 a month. This is a great way to support me in case you are interested, and the chance for me to become independent from YouTube revenue. Thank you so much for watching, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.